the court has deliberated and ordered?
The court, we are glad to report, is still insisting that its orders must be obeyed. And for that matter, the court has made orders which requires affidavits to be sworn by the Inspector General and the Director of Criminal Investigations, together with the officer in charge of immigrations, and that they must appear in person on the 15th of this month when the court reconvenes. But we have made some statements or submissions which the court is going to deal with later. The court has said they need to hear from them why those court orders were disobeyed. And if they have a story to tell, they should swear those affidavits. But you had most of the councils who were acting on behalf of Mr. Miguna and the Law Society, saying that the contempt must be purged. And from where we stand, the beginning of purging that contempt is by an order being made for Mr. Miguna to be brought back to the country. And the only hurdle that can stand against that order, if Mr. Miguna himself says he doesn't want to come back to Kenya. You know, when you do a deportation like they did, they have to harmonize the operation with the receiving country. That means that the government of Canada must have indicated that they have no problem with Mr. Miguna being received in Canada. They know the law about dual citizenship, and Mr. Miguna cannot cease to be a Kenyan citizen. It is not for the government of Kenya to determine whether Mr. Miguna is a citizen of Kenya or not. It is Mr. Miguna who can say he has renounced his Kenyan citizenship. Any Kenyan who is a citizen by birth still retains the citizenship of the country called Kenya. Now, the other more important point on this issue is that, you know, one of the things that happens, and the IBC always does it, is a determination of whether anybody running for election is a Kenyan citizen. If you look at the law, whether it is elective positions for presidential elections or parliamentary or gubernatorial, they must satisfy themselves that the person desiring to run for office is a Kenyan citizen. The only exception is anybody who wants to be a president or deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. You cannot offer yourself for those seats if you are a dual citizen of Kenya. But for any other post, whether you have dual citizenship, you have rights which are equal